Hey everybody, Morgana Galaxia here. Welcome back to my channel. So glad you're with me. So, oh my God, I had to wait a little while to get on for my temper to calm down over this Roe v. Wade issue that's going on with the Supreme Court right now. But that's what I'm getting on to read about today, okay? Because that is what is going on. So I want to take a look at the Supreme Court, Roe v. Wade, and some of these justices. And if any, what kind of steps, if any, are going to be taken to get these people out of there. Okay, so that's what's going on. So yeah, a little deep dive into the Supreme Court. Okay, so, oh my God, this thing with Roe v. Wade is just insane. I mean, there's no case in front of them that they're deciding. Basically, it's coming down to the fact that now that there's enough of them on the Supreme Court who've always wanted to overturn Roe v. Wade, now they're going to do it, right? Regardless of what they testified to during their confirmation hearings, how much they swore to respect precedent, that it was settled law, that they weren't activist judges. These judges are not supposed to be political, and now here they are. Now that there's enough of them on the bench, clock's ticking, they're going to get this done. And of course, everyone's scared. What's going to come after that, right? Gay marriage, interracial marriage. It's like crazy, crazy town right now. So my first question, very easy. Are they going to repeal Roe versus Wade? Because, thank God for that whistleblower or that leaker who leaked that document. Thank God for that person. Because without that person having leaked that document, nobody would know anything. We'd all be sitting ducks. But now, we've got a little chance to get out ahead of it a little bit. People are gathering in protest. There's marches. People can make their opinions heard on this matter a little bit before this thing comes to pass. So thank goodness for that person, wherever they are. Blessings on them. But so we're a little ahead of it. People are protesting. Are they going to just tuck their tails between their legs and say, oh, sorry, that was just a practice run? Or are they going to try and, make this permanent? Is Roe v. Wade going to be overturned, right? Are they going to be successful? They're going to move forward with this scheme to overturn Roe versus Wade. There's another case that's relevant to this, but I can't recall the name of it off the top of my head. Okay. Will this Supreme Court overturn Roe v. Wade? This Supreme Court overturn Roe v. Wade. All right, let's take a look. Let's bring it down. Oh, okay. So we're starting off here with a knight. So someone's fighting for something here, something ideological. So this is I'm going to bring this back up. So I'm feeling the idea here that this is an ideological strategy. They have something in mind, right? Roe v. Wade's very emotional based type of issue, and there's going into battle with this, So this is telling me that their intent is to put this through, that we didn't catch them in some sort of discussion or, process review. No, there was an intent here. This knight is on his steed. He's roaring into action. Yeah, the intent was there to get this done. It's all ideological, i.e. political. The challenge is the Four of Cups. So the challenge has been, how do you actually get it done? The technicalities of it, right? The letter of it. They didn't have there's not a lot of good options for them. There aren't any good options for them to overturn Roe, right? Precedent is against them. Stare decisis. is against them. The will of the nation, you know, I guess 70% of the U.S. population supports choice. So, you know, it's a bodily autonomy issue. I mean, there's just all kinds of things going on. This was a very difficult thing to do. You know, the Republicans have been working on this for decades. This is why they try and get all these judges in, right? This is why abortion is a litmus test for Republican judges, because they want to put people on courts who are against Roe v. Wade. But what this card is telling me is that, you know, it's been difficult. They've had to wait on this. They've had to be patient. They didn't have a lot of good options in this scheme. They've just been kind of waiting for that golden opportunity, and Trump gave it to them by stacking the court with a lot of judges that should not have been confirmed, you know, because Kavanaugh already has his own issues with women. Amy Coney Barrett's not even qualified. You know, Clarence Thomas is completely corrupted and unethical. So the point is that they've had their golden opportunity. They just simply have the justices in place they need to vote it in, regardless of precedent, law, the will of the people, what have you. So the end result here, we have the Five of Swords. Ooh, scorched earth, you guys. So this is telling, this is kind of telling people are going to be fighting this. It's a vicious battle. People are up in arms. Scorched earth. So it's going to be vicious. It's going to be ugly, underhanded. The advice to the American people who want to support Roe is to don't give up the battle, you guys. Don't drop your sword. Don't give up the battle. You got to be the last one standing if we want to keep Roe versus Wade. They are willing to push this through underhandedly, unethically, abuse of power, that they're clearly abusing their power on the bench. There's something that's just dirty about it. So it's a huge risk. We're right there on the precipice. Yes, they intend to do this. Yes, they're going to take the steps to force this through. And it's going to be up to the people to fight it, So we can't sit comfortably by and say, oh, this is settled law. They don't have a chance. They're doing it, you guys. They're on their war horse and they're ready to get going. They've had their golden opportunity handed to them. All those red justices. Brutal battle, a brutal battle, a brutal, brutal battle. I want to know who the winner is. Who's going, you know, how's Roe gonna, what's gonna happen with Roe? So let me pull a couple more cards. Okay, so a lot of communication with the Page of Cups. Okay, so there's going to be a lot of communication. Civil action. I think this is, you know, activist groups trying to get these people together. People coming to protest. People got a lot to say. Emotions are high. And with the Three of Pentacles, this is the community working together. So, yeah, groups are going to have to start working together to get something accomplished. Let's get down to a final card. Four of Pentacles. Four of Pentacles is about being conservative with your finances. You've got some money, but you're a little insecure with it. So, you know, you're conservative. Spend it wisely. Yeah. Okay, so, but that's neither here nor there to this question. I want to know, is Roe v. Wade going to be overturned or not? Sorry, you guys. All I'm seeing right here is a Republican robed justice holding a box of money. Holding a box of money. So if that's anybody on the court right now, that would be Kavanaugh, since there's a lot of questions about how he's gotten all his debt paid. so in other words, he's bought and paid for. He's has leverage over him. So there's 4 coins on here. Okay, so here is my prediction. I don't know. Okay, I'm seeing a lot of times these are votes for me. This is Republican red. There are 4 votes in this box. 4 justices. So maybe my understanding on the news is that they already kind of voted and passed this, but yet not. I'm not sure what the legal status is of this decision. It's a draft. It's not a final decision. But, is this a done deal or not? I'm almost feeling like they're 1 justice short of this thing being a go. But then again, maybe there are 4 justices that need to go, right? We've got Kavanaugh, Coney Barrett, Clarence Thomas, and then obviously Alito. Those 4 justices are putting themselves at risk with this scheme because each one of them have grounds to be removed from office. I mean, Amy Coney Barrett hasn't even tried a case in court, right? Kavanaugh's investigation of the FBI was corrupted. He's had debt mysteriously paid off. He's an abuser. He can certainly be impeached. Clarence Thomas is a nightmare. There's lots of reasons for him to be impeached. And of course, Alito, I'm not as familiar with him, but the fact of the matter is that he's trying to get something done. This is his opinion. So he's trying to get something done that goes against the precedent, goes against stare decisis, or, I don't know these legal terms, stare decisis. Sorry, you guys, I just said it a couple minutes ago. I guess what I'm saying is maybe these 4 justices are really going to be put in a boxed in, under review. They're conservative. Yeah, so they might get looked at. So I see a scorched earth battle here coming. People are going to have to fight this off. They're going to have to do it by screaming loud, cooperating with each other, right? Working together, strategizing. And in the end, I've got 4 votes that are boxed up here with this card. So I think that there's a chance that we could prevent this from happening. And the key is those 4 justices need to be under review so they feel the heat. Okay, so they start to understand. They can't just go in this, sit on the bench and do whatever they politically want to, because that's, what Trump put them there to do. No, your actions are going to have consequences and might end up with your removal off of that bench. So I guess what I'm saying here is that the intent is there to do this. They're going to try and do it. Americans are going to have to fight it off. It's going to be difficult. It's going to be close. We have to communicate, work together, get this done. And in the end, we needed the focus, the attention is going to be turned on those justices who attempted this scheme. Turned on these 4 justices. They're going to be reviewed. They're going to be boxed in, hopefully investigated. So maybe if we can get to that point, then we'll take another look and see what's in store for them. One of my big complaints with Democrats is they're just so soft. I don't think Democrats should break the law or, be unethical, but you can play hardball. I'm telling you, if Biden wants to play hardball, he could just start the impeachment ball rolling on those justices. Regardless of how it pans out, get the ball rolling. Replace them, replace them. And start with Clarence Thomas. Okay, so that was just kind of looking at Roe v. Wade. I'd like to kind of know how the Supreme Court is feeling right now. You know, I heard the interview from Justice Sotomayor. She's already referenced the stench that's on the Supreme Court and how their credibility is just being shot, and how, you know, they're completely undermining the trust of the American public. So, you know, hint, hint, they're all really reserved on the bench, right? So hint, hint, it stinks. It stinks to high heaven on the Supreme Court. And at least Sotomayor is coming out and giving us a little indication here. Show me what the Supreme Court's looking like right now. What is the Supreme Court looking like? How are they feeling with each other? You know, are they giving each other, and I think I've read on this a few times, especially with a couple justices. Yeah, I want to know what the dynamics are right now. They must be really crazy on the Supreme Court. So I think I'm going to do this on two sides. I'm going to do the Republican justices on this side, the 5, and on this side, gosh, there's only 3 Democrats now, right? The 3 women, Sotomayor, Elena Kagan. I don't know that Ketanji's taken her seat yet. I imagine she has. So at least those 3. 5, 6, 7, 8. I'm missing someone. Okay. So Republicans versus Democratic justices. How are they looking at each other right now? That must be so crazy. All right, let's just do a short little spread here. Okay, well, I'm starting out with a 6 of Wands. So this is telling me, sorry, let me finish this off here. Okay, so Republicans on this side, Democrats on that side, Republicans. Starting off with the victory card, yay! They're just gonna, you know, wreak havoc on the Supreme Court. They feel victorious, right? They got all their justices in place. Everyone who's ready to throw Roe v. Wade out the window is in place. They have finally reached the day that they've so long waited for. They feel victorious. They're getting this done. They're feeling great. Their challenge with the King of Wands. So, you know, I'm kind of getting a pull towards Chief Justice Roberts. Now, he is a GOP justice, but he's been known to kind of go back and forth. As you know, he's requested an investigation for the Supreme Court Marshal to investigate this leak. So I'm getting a pull towards him, but there is a block, okay? There is going to be a challenge to them. There is someone in authority. So whether this is Chief John Roberts or the Attorney General or Biden or Schumer or somebody who is sitting in a seat of authority is going to challenge this scheme. This is going to be a direct challenge. So some sort of, and it's going to be quick. We're going to see this happen very soon. It's going to be a big show. This isn't going to be under the radar, you know, on the back page of the newspaper. We're all going to see this. It's going to be a show of authority. Someone's going to step forward and try and block this scheme. The end result is the Hermit. The Hermit. So I think this is referring to the Supreme Court. Number one, they don't have any support for this action. The vast majority of Americans support choice, okay? And again, I think this is reinforcing what I said earlier. They're going to find themselves isolated, unsupported, held at a distance, kind of going it alone. I think that the review is going to be on them, and it's not going to be done as a group, right? Like, you 5 justices did this. Each one is going to be handled individually, and they're each going to be feeling isolated, like they're going it alone, and they're not being supported. So that's the Republicans. On the Democratic side here, we're starting off with the Queen of Pentacles. So I feel like these are the female Democratic justices that are on the bench right now. They are the barrier. It is kind of up to them to, there's not much they can do. I mean, if you lose a vote, you write a dissent, and that's kind of what it is. But they are there. They are a presence. They are showing their strength. They're showing their power. So they're not meekly sitting by and watching these Republican justices do this work. I think that their presence is an intimidating force in the courtroom. Their challenge is the world. So this is actually a great card to have as a challenge card. It is telling us this is on the national stage. Everyone is paying attention to it. This is a great big deal. This card also does indicate a grand ending, an ending of a cycle, and the start of a new but better beginning for the most part. So that's their challenge. Their challenge is to stop this and have a new beginning. So their challenge might also be their optimism, their inner strength to get this done. Yes, the whole world is looking. Yes, it's on the world stage, but there's only so much they can do. This is their challenge. So the hope and the optimism and the promise that usually comes with this card, that's kind of what they're in short supply of right now. And here is the result, which is the 7 of Wands. They're going to try and be a gatekeeper here. They're going to try and play defense to try and stop this from passing. Thou shalt not pass. They're going to do what they can to prevent this. Unfortunately, there's a lot more air raid against them than what they have to protect with. So they're a little outmanned, a little outgunned here, so to speak, in this scheme. So I guess the feeling I'm getting here is, yes, they're going to try and force this through against the dissent of the Democratic justices, against the will of the nation, against the the shabby, the wobbly legal legs they're standing on here. They're going to try and push this through to the point where it is going to have to be the American people that fight back from the prior reading. But there is hope. There is hope in the end. Remember that card, those justices are going to be boxed in. They're going to be looked at. I think, again, it's an internal infighting. It's an internal war on the Supreme Court. I do think these justices are clashing here. They're clashing here. Yeah, the Republicans are feeling real confident. They got this in the bag. But especially these women on the other side, they're smart, they're resourceful, they're strong, and they're intuitive. They do have media on their side. Public opinion is on their side. And they're going to be the gatekeepers here, or at least trying their best. Let's do one card in the middle. The High Priestess. So just to finalize out this spread here, we have the High Priestess. So secret agendas. Oh my God, nothing but secret agendas on the Republican side. On the Democratic side, the card would say, you have the wisdom within, you have the skills, you have energy on your side. You know, there's also a secretive element here. You know, the High Priestess, she keeps her secrets close to her. She decides what she releases, what she says, what she doesn't say, what wisdom she shares to, you know, to others. So, so yeah, I think the battle between what's secret and what's public is going to be really interesting here. We're already dealing with a leak. That leak is going to be investigated. We're going to find out hopefully who it was. But maybe these Democratic justices, I just think between what's secret, what comes out, what we get to know, what we don't get to know, what's going on behind closed doors, that sort of, that friction is going to be key to this question here. Okay, so I'm just going to leave that. That's what I'm getting, pretty much all I'm getting from that. I'm going to leave that there. And before I go, I did promise you last time I was on that I wanted to take a look at Don Jr.'s testimony to the January 6th Commission. So let's just take a quick look at Don Jr.'s testimony. So he showed up voluntarily. I haven't really heard a lot of information or any descriptions about, you know, his behavior or anything like that, interestingly. So yeah, what did Don Jr. say to the January 6th Commission? What did Don Jr. say to the January 6th Commission? What did he tell them? What information did he give? Don Jr., such a hot mess. I wonder if he just showed up just all tweaked out and belligerent, or maybe he was cowering with his head between his legs. That would have been one I would have wanted to be a fly on the wall for sure. That and Ivanka's, right? Don Jr., what did he tell the January 6th Commission? Okay. Okay, so we're starting right off here. This is Don Jr.'s reading, but we're starting right off with the Queen of Cups. My first thought, Ivanka. Blame it on Ivanka. You know, his fiancée always appears in the readings. It could be her too, the Screaming Banshee. But no, I'm going with Ivanka here. And let me tell you something else. I saw a picture of her, and I feel like it was a recent picture, and she looked like she was pregnant. I'm wondering, nothing's come out yet. I'm going to keep my eye on that. Keep your eye out if we hear some news about Ivanka being pregnant. And I don't think she would be above getting pregnant to keep herself out of jail. Just saying. But let me just say, I think she was a focus of Don Jr.'s testimony. His challenge, betrayal, being betrayed. There's 3 daggers in his heart. You know, this could be Ivanka, Eric, Daddy, who knows? Or it could be maybe 3 big pieces of information he handed over that is damaging to his father or his sister. But there's betrayal here. And in the end, downfall. Downfall. So interesting, because I don't think the January 6th committee could cause Don Jr.'s downfall themselves, right? The most they could do is refer him to the AG, and the AG could bring a case. It doesn't seem like the AG is doing much of anything these days. So who might that downfall come from? Who is he talking about in the room? So I don't, have more particulars than that. I would just say what these cards are telling me is that he went in there, threw his sister under the bus, and he's going to end up either distance from her or distance from Donald, who of course loves Ivanka more than anybody else. And so I think he might also have implicated himself or damaged himself in there and caused his own downfall. That's certainly possible. But he's not going to emerge from this unscathed. I think he threw his sister under the bus. I think if it ever comes out what he said, is going to cause Ivanka and his father to banish him, cut him out of the family fortune. All right, so that's all I've got today, you guys. Hang in there. I know it's tough out there this week. I don't even know what to do. It's like, I live in a state that has already said, if Roe gets overturned, they would allow it in state law. So I'm not in one of these states where I have to worry about my right being taken away to control my own body. So it's kind of hard to go and march down on my city hall when I know we're kind of the good guys here. So, my support goes out there to everyone who's showing up, protesting, marching, writing letters. Do anything that you can do, even if it's just one thing, to do something to make your voice heard on this issue. Maybe we can get this reversed and protect our country. Okay? All right, everybody. Thanks for joining me. I'll be back in another couple of days with another reading. Bye.